Hello everyone, it's January the 9th, 2025. I'm not going to give you my usual good evening tonight because it's with sad news that I have to report tonight that this past Monday, overnight, Monday into Tuesday morning, one of our homeless people was found frozen to death on one of our streets here in Ottawa. And it was really a horrible thing to have to hear again, that he didn't make it to a shelter, I guess. I don't know. We don't know the circumstances why he wasn't in a shelter or if it had found someplace to get in warm. But it's been something that we dread, hearing that kind of news. I wanted to share it with you. I also wanted to confirm some details that I saw over the internet, that a family member informed people with a picture over the internet of this man who supposedly died, and I believe he was possibly Indigenous, but I wanted to confirm that, so I called around with Indigenous friends that I have, and yes, it was confirmed to me that that's who it was. It was a gentleman who was Indigenous that died that night. And again, it brings back memories of Julie's friend Frank, who died just right across from the Shepherds a couple of years ago there now, when I first started on the videos, doing my videos, and you can go back to see Frank's, what I put up on Frank's death at the time. And the unfortunate part about it was he was right across the street from the Shepherds. And you'll understand through my videos back then just how could he possibly have died. And people had said that he tried to get in and they refused him getting in, and he went and he slept across the street. But they also knew that this man had a heart attack, he had health conditions, and in this case, being right across the street, as I put in my videos at the time, there was no reason why someone from the shelter could not literally put on a winter coat themselves and go out and check and make sure he was okay. And I mean, this man was at arm's length of a shelter. And that's what made it so even more tragic for everyone to have to listen to that. And a lot of people knew Frank. This particular gentleman that just died this week, I know I've seen him somewhere. It could have been in some of the Indigenous ceremonies and things that I've been in. But I've also seen him on the street just in passing. He might have been panhandling. But I know I've seen the face before, and I recognized it when I saw his face. So it was a little bit personal there, and it was a shame that this man could not have been helped. And I don't know how long he was on the streets, but I believe Julie also knew this man as well. So I was able to inform her tonight that he had died as well. And I think she knew him, definitely. She's pretty sure. Anyhow, because, and I think his name might have been Roger. So if anybody knows this Roger, that's the name that came up with this gentleman. So unfortunately, we've lost another one. And I still don't believe there's any excuse of us having people out on our streets freezing to death. And this man wasn't even near a shelter when he died. As a matter of fact, he was in the other ward, next to our ward, where he died. And I want to read what the counselor for that area, Ariel Troster, had to say. And this was on the TV as well. And this is what was said by the city councilor. I was devastated to find out that a man was found frozen to death yesterday morning on Elgin Street. This is the exact scenario that the city has been working hard to prevent, but this failure is on all of us. Ending homeless is our most urgent crisis. I will continue to push the city and all levels of government to do better. The answer is housing with supports when needed, period. This was her response to that death. And it's shocking, no matter how hard it is. Like, it's really hard because everyone does not want to see someone frozen to death. And it again. One of my earlier videos on my first husband, of course, being a police officer, I was walking with him on the beat that one day, and of course we all know how to dress in layers and that, and finding a person, and it was well in the 30s, minus 30s for sure, that day, and we were bundled up, and we came across an Indigenous man in a doorway with, at that time, it wasn't drugs for sure, it was definitely booze, and he had the bottle of booze in the bag in his hand, and he had frozen to death. So that was my first experience with that. So hearing this, again, it brings back that memory. So I always have that image of him curled up in the doorway with his bottle, holding his bottle and looking like he's sleeping. But he's really actually dead, because at the time my husband had to check his pulse and he couldn't find it. So this is what's so painful for me, to have to understand what family goes through, what our emergency services have to go through. And again, I tried to tape this from the TV as I've been doing. I only got a partial of the taping of what had happened to the man with the police and everything, but I'm still going to post that partial video, as well as because this sparked more from the city, well, actually from the TV reporters, to go and talk to our street services that we do have. And I'm also going to be posting that video. I think I might have a partial of one and then a full one of another of the interview. So this is what I'm going to be posting after I get off this one. So I want everyone to hear what has to be said and understand where we're from, and we still can't seem to do good. I mean, one death is one death too many, period. And we still are not even fully through the winter yet. We've only really just started the cold part of the winter. So I'm going to post those up for you to take a look at after I get off of the channel. And as you can see, I'm bundled up in my PJs tonight, because we've had a very, very bad cold snap since the basically New Year's. So those of us who are sensible, if we can possibly stay in the house, we stay in the house. So I haven't been going very far. I've been staying nice and warm in the house, and well, last year certainly ended with a bang, and it's coming in with so much stuff. It's started with a bang, and it's going fast and furious right now. So there's a lot starting to come in that I'll be reporting on shortly, but I wanted to deal with this gentleman, and I want to pray for his family as well. So I'm going to put up those videos, everyone, and take care, be safe, and watch your surroundings. Definitely be aware of the cold and dress properly for the cold as well. So we'll talk to you shortly. Bye.